Election day is coming up. We are 1 week out, and soon you will pick our next governor and state representatives and a congressman. Tonight, we're taking a closer look at the District 1 race, where Republican incumbent Andy Harris is running for his third term to represent our state in Congress.
Jamie, in his first win back in 2010, Harris edged then incumbent Frank Crowderville. In 2012, he ran away with the seat against a Democrat that ran into legal troubles. But this time will be an even tougher fight. For the first time in his political career, Representative Andy Harris will be going it alone. It hasn't even been 2 months since his wife Sylvia unexpectedly passed away, a challenge much greater than any political one, but one he says his family is helping to meet.
They're fully supportive of me staying in and just doing all the things I've done before, a little bit differently, of course. You know, you don't have your wife behind you to do it, but the rest of my family is 100% behind me. My family's lived the American dream. But we're all worried our children won't be able to.
And Harris this time is running on more of an international platform. Once building his campaign on domestic issues, recent overseas threats had him change course. A message he says is resonating with constituents throughout the district.
I think it actually changed. I think if you asked me the question 3-4 months ago, it would have been the economy, jobs. I think now a lot of people are worrying about ISIS, they're worrying about Ebola, there are more security issues now.
For example, Dr. Harris is in favor of a travel ban to snuff out what some may view as the threat of an Ebola outbreak. Without preventing those people from traveling here from West Africa, the congressman said on In Focus last week he would be worried.
I'm worried because you can be a carrier of Ebola, not have a temperature yet, and yet you're being released into the population.
It's a view that echoes the national message coming out from the Republican Party, as is Harris's view on reforming the tax code and now repealing only parts of the Affordable Care Act. But one of the issues most voters identify with is the dysfunction between the parties in Congress, an issue Harris believes is only months away from being solved.
I think it gets easier, again, when Congress gets unified, and then it's Congress dealing with the president. And because in the past, that has worked. Again, when Bill Clinton was president, when George Bush was president, he had a Congress of a different party. They would reach out to the legislature and they'd work with the legislature. So I think that solves some of the problems. It's actually first unifying Congress, then attempting to get the president on board.
But Harris's definition of unifying Congress is waiting for a Republican-controlled House and Senate, something he thinks will happen on November 4th.
The problem in Washington is no one listens to one another.
But it's that hardline party thinking, his opponent says, made Congress dysfunctional in the first place.
I think he's less interested in representing the 1st District than he is in the political game in Washington.
Bill Tilghman is the Eastern Shore Democrat running against Harris. An attorney and businessman from Centerville, Tilghman came out of retirement to run against Harris. Frustrated by the inaction of Congress, the centrist Democrat hopes to raise the civility in Washington.
If you sit down across the table from somebody and you say, I'm open for business, I might be a little different with you on certain things, but I'm open for business, I'm looking you in the eye, tell me what's on your mind, that changes the mood. And we need a politics of respect. As your congressman, I'll support any good idea that makes America a better place, no matter where it comes from.
The best of both parties, he calls it, a message Tilghman says has resonated the most as he campaigned in District 1. While battling against the name recognition of Harris, the Democrat says his polls show the number of independents spiking in the district, and many are breaking for him. He's playing it straight down the middle, also willing to tweak the ACA and hoping to create jobs through investing in much-needed infrastructure. But Tilghman is outbilled by Harris, and the Democratic Party isn't exactly opening the money spigot. His is a grassroots message, one of civility and respect in government that he feels is striking a very common chord.
I think there's a sense of urgency about this, certainly that I see in the 1st District, and I can't imagine I'm much different from anywhere else in the country. People are fed up with it.
Now, both men will see by how much on November 4th. If Harris should win, it will be his 3rd straight term as U.S. representative. This is Tilghman's first ever run for any office.